Hello everyone, my name is Clantis and welcome to my YouTube channel where I do YouTube education. So without further ado, let's get into today's video where I'm going to touch on titles that lures audience. Once again, if you are a new YouTuber, please step forward because we need to finish up this series about you starting your YouTube journey so that you are guided in the right direction with your channel. So one of the most important factors that make people to decide where they are going to click and watch your YouTube video is your video title. The first one is your thumbnail and the second one is going to be your video title. So the first thing that I want to touch on is the number of characters that your video is titled for. So every YouTube video title is entitled to 60 visible characters when your potential viewer and subscriber looks at your video title. Anything beyond the 60 characters, you are going to see the 3 dots. Now, this is where many people make the mistake of making the video titles too long to a point where they see the ... Now, if you are going to be a person like me, whenever I look at a video and I'm interested in watching the video because of the thumbnail, but the title, it does not tell me as much as I need to know because the title is too long to a point where it has the 3 dots at the end. Now, that makes me do what? Not to watch the video at all. So if you are one of those people that make your YouTube video titles too long, cut it out. Count how many characters does your title already have. If it reached 60, then cut it out right there so that people are able to see the title of your video complemented by the thumbnail of your YouTube video. Another thing that I've noticed that new YouTubers do with their video titles is that they make the wording exactly the same as the thumbnail. The important thing about your thumbnail as well as your video title is that they must complement each other, they must work with each other. For example, your thumbnail cannot be exactly as your title because people already saw that your thumbnail, this is what it says, so why repeat it in your video title as well? It just does not make sense at all. However, you must have keywords in your video title. Now, I am going to make a video about keywords, what exactly that means. But a sneak preview, what is a keyword? For example, when you looked at my video title, video titles that lures audience. Because at the end of the day, you are a YouTuber and your first priority as a YouTuber is to gain views, take those views and convert them into subscribers with the content that you provide. So in my video title, I've got 4 keywords that made you click and watch this video. That is also going to make other people click and watch your YouTube video when they see the keywords to your video titles. For example, if you are going to bake a sponge cake, the operative word or the keyword here is sponge cake. And now you are teaching people how to bake a sponge cake or how to make a sponge cake. People that are interested in baking or probably they want to know how to bake a sponge cake, mostly to be students that are doing home economics or hotel keeping and catering. Part of that is to also know how to bake a sponge cake. So when they go onto Google or they go onto YouTube, they are going to type how to bake a sponge cake or how to make a sponge cake, and then you will see the search bar of YouTube or Google is going to give them a list of videos that has exact same title, how to bake a sponge cake or how to make a sponge cake. And it is going to be up to the person that searched for how to bake a sponge cake to choose whichever video they are going to click and watch and learn how to bake a sponge cake. Now your video titles must be in the same way. So if you are a baking channel, when people type how to bake a sponge cake and you have made videos about how to make or bake a sponge cake, your videos will be one of the videos that are going to be in the list of videos that YouTube is going to display on the person that typed how to bake or how to make a sponge cake. So as you can tell, the video title is not too long and it also within the bounds of the 60 characters that YouTube shows your video titles on. The important thing that your video title does to an audience is to tell them what your YouTube video is about. And the second thing that it must do to a potential viewer is why they should click and watch your video. The interesting thing about video titles, there are a lot of technicalities that go into video titles, which I'm going to talk about in future videos. For example, search engine optimization. When I say search engine optimization, that means that your video title must be searchable when people type whatever topic that they want to know about, and then you have created such a video before, that your video is going to be ranked in the top 5 or in the top 10 or top 3. Because if your video is ranked in the top 5 or in the top 3, it tells the person who has searched for your video title that you are an expert in that field, and therefore they'll be confident and trustful enough to click on your video. And of course, the last thing that you want when your video is ranked by YouTube to be at the tail of the list, because that means people may not necessarily reach that far when they look for a video to click and watch so they can learn whatever it is that they were searching for on YouTube. And also make sure that when you create video titles, they are not in competition with big YouTubers, because people, when they are going to search for a certain YouTube video and yours popped alongside with a big YouTuber's videos, guess who are they going to click on? Definitely not yours. They are going to click on the big YouTubers videos because of the number of views that they are already seeing on that video versus your own video. That is why when you create a title, make sure whenever it pops after somebody has searched for the title of your video, that you are ranked as high as possible so that people can click on your video rather than you competing with a big YouTuber. The last point I want to make about the video titles that lures audiences is that it must identify the type of viewer that you are targeting. And additionally, your video title must also be so compelling enough for the person that saw it to have the fear of missing out. And as a result, they click and then start watching your video. And once they start clicking and watching your videos, your job is to keep that viewer for a long period of time, hopefully from the beginning to the end of your YouTube video. So once that happens, you are going to see tons and tons of views as well as subscribers trickling in on your YouTube channel. So make sure that when you create YouTube video titles, that they do not get lost in the sea of YouTube, because you are competing with millions of other channels on the platform for the same title that you have on your videos. So if you think this video has added some value to your YouTube journey, then give this video a like and also subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed yet. And also don't forget to click the bell notification so that you do not miss out on any of my new uploads. And please leave me a comment down below. Trust me, I do read and I also respond to all of the comments. And I would highly appreciate it if you share this video far and wide, especially to those that just started their YouTube journeys. Thank you for watching today, and I will see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.